Well, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is the very first session of Solutions. Yes, in here we're talking about a deeper consciousness and money talks. These are going to be 12 o'clock to 12:30 lunch and learns. And so for everybody that comes in, I want to welcome you. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started because one thing that I do believe in, let me start my timer because we definitely are going to hold you 30 minutes and 30 minutes only. Today, I actually ended up getting a strike on YouTube, so it will not allow me to stream until I did put in an appeal. It will not allow me to stream from YouTube until I get that appeal corrected for copyright strike. But I actually think it pushed me on to this next level. And this is what I'm going to do. We will have the on demand uploaded to the Patreon so that you can see it and observe it and participate in it. Other than that, I did go ahead and make a Solutions Lunch and Learn audio, which will allow me to not have to worry about any kind of video strikes. So when you subscribe, if you actually want to come and be a part of the Solutions Lunch and Learn when it's actually taking place, then you'll do that here in Discord. And then once the Discord is completed, I will upload that session into the Patreon and everybody can see it on demand. And I think that's the way I'm going to do it, so I don't have to keep worrying about getting strikes. What I want to say, copyright strikes from YouTube, and then Vimeo is the only other way that I can stream from Patreon, and it does have a $75 a month subscription fee for live streaming. So with that being said, I think this is going to be the best solution because it is about money. It is about economics. It is about making sure that we're wise stewards of our money the best way that we can be. So since I can bring you all, once you join in Patreon, I will then give you the link to join. This is a private channel, so you cannot get into the Solutions Lunch and Learn unless you have a pass or unless you have paid. So at the end of the day, that's the way we're going to roll. And I think that, again, the copyright, this is the second copyright strike. The last one I got was all the way back in the beginning of 2022. So it's interesting that that would happen today. But again, I think it put my feet on this trajectory to say, so that we don't have to worry about any kind of copyright strikes, we will have the actual live here in Discord. I will upload the recorded session, and it is being recorded now, and then take it back to Discord and upload it there. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We're talking about deeper consciousness about money talks this morning, and almost every session for those that follow me in Twitch, where there's you don't have to follow, you don't have to subscribe. You can just come in and participate if you want to. That's where I really have the conversation in Yes You O Cubed about many of the things that we're going to be talking about here in the Solutions Lunch and Learn sessions. Now, let me kind of lay some groundwork. These sessions will be no longer than 30 minutes. And the reason why we're doing it 30 minutes is because I realize this is your lunch break. And so for those of you that are actually taking your lunch during this time, I do want you, if you have an hour lunch, I do want you to be able to at least have 30 minutes to yourself, where you can still kind of draw down, relax, and chill. So the sessions will be no longer than 30 minutes, but we will do every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we will have Solutions Lunch and Learn at 12 o'clock high noon Central Time. So at the point that we have concluded our 30-minute session, then we will, in that time window of the 30 minutes, I hope to give you some opportunity to actually be able to ask questions. We will be bringing in speakers. Those speakers will probably present no longer than about 15 minutes. And in that 15-minute window, we'll have them address and approach a particular topic. Then we will again have Q&A for those that are at the higher level. And again, in Patreon, because this is the only way you can access this content. you have to be subscribed in Patreon. For those that are at the higher level and the upper echelon in subscription cost, you will then be able to go behind the scenes and actually talk with the different viewers or the different presenters that we bring in for you to hear. We're going to cover everything as it pertains to making money in the Black community. So as I'm talking to entrepreneurs, we'll have conversations about how to set up your business, what kind of structures are out there and available. Should I do a sole proprietorship? I would probably discourage that, but depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, that might be the way to go. Am I a not-for-profit? We do have BTD mom, Anita Harvey, who actually will be here, and she has a foundation, the David Ryan Foundation, which she has set up as a not-for-profit organization. And I'll bring her in one time and let her speak to you as well. We do have people like My Lot Journey, who is a part of this program, who is an entrepreneur and a professional. We'll have her come in and talk. Tall Pumps is also a part of this endeavor. She's setting up the database for solutions, and that is in process even as we speak. Anybody and everybody, we want to get as many Black businesses in this database. Once more and again, we want to get as many Black businesses, as many Black entrepreneurs. If you're doing something, we want that in this database. It is going to be an online database. And so with that, we hope to be able to keep up with any transitions, any changes, any modifications, any additions, any deletions. We want to keep the database as current as we possibly can. And so with that, I want to say thank you to Tall Pumps for volunteering to take this database piece by the horns and make it a reality. So ultimately, we're hopeful that eventually all across the country, in all categories, in all different types of business, we'll have that information available through our database online. From that, we want to make what I talked about yesterday in Yes You O Cube. We want to make that pipeline that transcends beyond just my particular, whatever it is in my category that I'm doing, but then begin to cross state lines, begin to go into other cities, begin to go into everywhere that we can, begin to go into other countries even, and be able to make a network of Black businesses, or the pipeline, as I'm calling it, so that we can thrive, not just survive, but that we can thrive. Out of that, we hope that even with what we're doing in growing the channel for Solutions Lunch and Learn, we hope that more professionals will come in. We have many, many professionals that come into Yes You O Cubed on a daily basis. I'm hoping that those professionals will then transition over to our Solutions Lunch and Learn, not only so we can sit here and have conversations about how we want to move forward, and particularly at the mad scientist level, for those that are just whole hog about what we're doing. We want to not only just have conversations, but we also want to begin to amass resources, whether it's the networking of the information, whether it's the resources of people coming in and giving presentations, as well as we want to literally begin to build a financial dollars and cents. We want to literally start building a pile of money that we can begin to utilize, whether it's for different situations that are going on in individual family situations. And we've done that before, even in the Lion's Den, where we've reached out to help those that may be in a homeless situation or whatever the crisis may be, and be able to just share love with them from the Lion's Den as a solution. We want to be able to help businesses and entrepreneurs that may be struggling. We want to, and we understand we can't be all things to all people, and everything will be scrutinized and looked at, because again, even as I said about the transition here to Discord and saying, let's go with the Solutions Lunch and Learn in Discord, because Discord, I can do it all day long. We have an event stage that I've also set up that can handle 5,000 viewers simultaneously. Audio. We can do 5,000 people simultaneously from the event stage so that we can have different events. We can have panel discussions. We can have, whatever we want to set up in the way of a large group mass. So we're looking at how do we want to spend our dollars even within this realm. So we'll be looking and scrutinizing those that we're assisting and those that we're helping. But we want to be that resource that if entrepreneurs and business owners find themselves in a situation, that we can be some means of relief to them, as well as hopefully connecting them to sources and resources that can really answer the need that they really have at a larger level. We'll talk about grants and putting in for grants and how to develop grants and all of those types of things where income is concerned. We'll talk about fundraising. I'm going to have somebody that comes in and begins to talk about how to raise your dollars. Also, how to actually be sponsors so that you can actually get various entities and businesses that are already in existence that are looking for sponsors, how to get a sponsorship with a company to help relieve some of the financial cost in getting started and getting up and running. We'll be talking about that and bringing in people that can address those issues. We're looking to be a total resource of how we can turn around the economics in our community. I mentioned BTD Moms Foundation. I also want to address even here in Dallas. I'm in the Dallas area. There is currently already in existence a homeless program that is already working. It's working in a fabulous way. They have over 300 plus homeless people that they minister or speak to, address every single week, 2 times a week, every Wednesday, every Saturday. The homeless know where they can come and wash their clothes. They know where they can come and take a shower. They know where they can come and get a meal and be fed. And those meals go on more than just the Wednesday and the Saturday, but a program that is running almost seamlessly. Then this is the idea that we want to take in solutions. That is a solution that is answering the homeless population here in Dallas. If it's working like well-oiled machinery here in Dallas, and that's just 2 people, that's a husband and her wife that have taken, and her husband, a husband and his wife rather, that have taken this on. And they, just the 2 of them, have impacted the Dallas homeless community. They're winning awards and recognition because the program is working. Then as I come in and I'm having an opportunity to partner with and look and observe and learn from what's done in Dallas. This is how Solutions works. This is the idea that we have in mind. If it works in Dallas, it may not work exactly like it does in Dallas in Chicago, but we can take the bones of it to Chicago. We can take the framework of it to Chicago and we can tweak it. We can take the bones of it to Los Angeles, Las Vegas. We can take the bones of it to Kansas City, Atlanta. We can take the bones of it somewhere else and build from that and tweak it to the needs of that particular geographic location. And we can be the solution to the homeless population. When I tell you this sister has done this in such an ingenious way, in such an effective way, she also has doctors that come in and volunteer. She also has dentists that come in and volunteer. It is a program that really needs to be replicated. And instead of us sitting again, thinking and waiting and wanting the government to come in and replicate the program, we have the power, we have the ability, we have the people to be able to do it ourselves. We've already seen it as a tried and true system that actually works. Let's take it out to the various cities and structures and implement it ourselves and let the government play catch up. Let the other people play catch up. But it's time for us to take our own situation by the horns and do what we need to do. Now, as I always talk about, it's the economic base that's going to be our freedom from racism. It's the economic base that's going to be our freedom from slavery of all kinds. It's the economic base that we develop amongst ourselves that is going to be the change that we want to see. That being said, I'm going to always encourage us. I'm going to always prod us and poke us and prime us to keep moving forward in our economic pursuits. Don't let up. Don't back up. I want to see business owners come in and let's begin to band together. Let's begin to partner together. Let's begin to barter together. Let me talk about bartering. Here, you're going to hear us talk in the deeper consciousness where money talks in solutions. We're going to talk about how to barter. We're going to talk about things of old that we used to do that worked back then that can still work now that we can reinstitute. We're going to talk about things now that we do that we know don't work and how to get rid of those things that are not working. If it's not working, to do the same thing over and over and over again and think you're going to get something different as your outcome, that's insanity. So we're moving out of the phase of insanity and we're saying, hey, we're ready to rock and roll with this thing and move it into a whole nother dimension. We're going to be constantly after that excellence in economic pursuit. So that being said, I want us to understand that these 30 minutes that we share on a weekly basis are going to be chock full of a whole lot of concepts, a whole lot of ideas, a whole lot of vision, a whole lot of think tank thinking and hashing out and beginning to say, well, can we do it this way? Can we do it that way? And begin to tweak and identify. Even if we talk about, spiritual thought leader. I am the spiritual thought leader. If I did not introduce myself, I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. And thank you for coming into Solutions. You may be saying to yourself, but the spiritual thought leader, come on. You know, we're talking about the justice system and how it treats us. I'm telling you, the change that we want to see, even in the justice system, is still connected to our economic health and wealth. I'm going to say that again. Even what we want to see change in the justice system is directly correlating to our economic health and wealth. So as we come into a more whole state, and I do feel like the Black community, if anything, we must be made whole, not just in what we're doing, but we're also going to be coming forth with an idea and plans for reparations. This country owes the Black community reparations. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to bite my tongue. I'm not going to be silenced on that. I'm going to continue to push for the reality that we've got to have something that begins to speak to remedy to the hurt, the harm, and the murder that we've experienced in this country at the hands of racist authority. So at the end of the day, we're dealing with all of that here in Solutions. Now, the thing about it is, why have I chosen to put this in Patreon? I chose to put this in Patreon because there are sensitive topics that we're going to talk about that, unlike what I do in Yes You O Cubed. Yes You O Cubed, I can have trolls that come in. I can have trolls that come in and heckle. I can have trolls that come in and attempt to disrupt the stream, whether it's a matter of trying to shut it down or just do what they can to be disruptive to the stream. We had a person that came in today and wanted to have, do you know Jesus? And then on to vote for Trump and so on and so forth. And of course, my moderator shut it down. Now, this is the thing. In the type of sensitive information that we're going to be talking about in Solutions, this is not information that's going to be open to the general public. This isn't information that's going to be available to your average Joe Blow, which is really much of the impetus as to why I put it in a subscription format. People that are serious about change, they understand, number one, if you want change, it's going to take a financial situation to actually begin to work towards the change that we want to see. Talk is cheap. It takes money to buy land. We're past the point of just talking. We're past the point of just bumping our gums. And we understand that with it, the land is the asset. The talk is powerful. The talk is tremendous. The talk is motivating. The talk is uplifting. The talk gives us the ability to dream. The talk gives us the ability to hope and look forward. But we're not going to see change until we're able to buy land, because land is the asset. And you're not going to just have people giving you land. Even when they said they were going to give us 40 acres and a mule, we didn't get that. And don't think that if we didn't get it back then, we're surely not going to get it now under the current system until we have an economic base. So when we start talking about chalk is cheap, it takes money to buy land, we set it up in this subscription format because I'm looking for people that are ready to put their money where their mouths are. I'm not just talking about, I got this and I got that, and let's do this and let's do that. But you're not contributing anything towards making it happen. Your subscription will go towards making all of the things that I've talked about here today happen. We want the asset of the land. We want the asset of the businesses. We want the asset of ownership. We want the asset of building our neighborhoods and our communities. We want the asset of sending our children to quality educational systems. We want the asset of being able to pay legal fees when legal fees need to be paid. We want to have the asset that even in situations where someone physically may not be able to take care of their own medical needs, the asset that we have connections to doctors, we have funds set aside, whatever it might be, we want those assets to begin to match. So that talk is cheap. It takes money to buy land. And we're looking at being able to provide money, not just throw it at something, but to be tangible in what we're doing. Even when I talk about the database that Tall Pumps, that Edie is building, the beauty of her, and I'm so excited about this because we've been talking about Black owned, Black owned, Black owned. So as we looked at different databases and we looked at different existing databases and companies, what was the question that Edie had for me? And I love it. I absolutely, positively love it. She asked me the $64,000 question. Is this a Black owned business? Is this, now while we're talking about deeper consciousness, hear me when I say this, as we're talking about deeper consciousness, this deeper consciousness also has to go to the extent of saying, hey, if we're talking about Black and we're going to do Black, why would we start off building from the very foundation of this with something that is not Black and Black owned and Black created? So with that, we had to take a step back. And with that, we had to say, okay, let's look at and let's begin to identify and search for and or build something that's built Black, made Black for Black. So this is the level at which we are taking this thing to task, in that we are serious about it. We are absolutely positively committed to it at every level. Come on, BBFB. That's what we're doing. We are setting it up so that everything that we do is Black, built Black for Black. Come on here, Rebel. We're going to use that. Built Black for Black. That's what we're doing in this hour. I was very appreciative. And Edie even saying, hold up, I'm ready to go. She's out having meetings. She's out meeting with people. She's gleaning and gathering information. She's holding conferences with different ones to help move the agenda forward on the database. But when she backed me up, and I love it. When she backed me up and said and asked of me, are these companies that we're reviewing, are they Black companies? And my answer, as I researched them and really already knew, the answer was no. So with that being said, when you say, okay, the spiritual thought leader is coming with this idea of solutions, where do we start? We start in economics, but I want you to understand it's a wide open field. It's a wide open field, even with the fact that we couldn't get a Black database. It's a wide open field as we start talking about all the other things that we're going to launch out and begin to do. And if we start asking our questions, is this Black owned? Is it built Black for Black? Come on. Is it built Black for Black? If the answer is no, then we need to fill that spot. We need to fill that void. So at this point, we talk about putting Black folks to work. Baby, it's work for everybody. And even as she said to me, and this is the beauty of it, when we started talking and she said, my heart leaped and my ears perked up, because when you talk about database, that's what I do. And I feel like as we launch out, we're going to keep finding people over and over again, that as we need the different things to come forth, when we need these things to come to fruition, we're going to find gifted, talented Black folks that are going to be out there saying, that's what I do. And not just from a standpoint of blowing smoke and trying to get over, but I mean people that are qualified, people that have the skill, people that have the ability. We're going to keep running into people that say, that's what I do. And what we're going to come out with is an excellent machine. What we're going to come out with something that is going to actually be the change. We're not asking anybody to come in and do anything for us outside of our community. If you want to come in and be a part, that's fine. But this right here, this deeper consciousness that money talks, is for the Black community. And even this we're building, it's built Black for Black. Come on with that. BBFB. It's built Black for Black. It's built Black for Black. And that's what we're undertaking right now. That's what is going to make a transformation and a change. That's what we're going to network with other people that are out doing like-minded things. We're not of the mindset that we're the only ones. But one thing I can tell you, I can speak for myself. We are the committed ones. We are the dedicated ones. We are the Lion's Den. This Pride, Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless. And you're going to hear us roar, because what we're doing is built Black for Black. Ain't no shame in our game. We're not hanging our heads. We're not embarrassed. We're not intimidated. We don't have a spirit of fear. We have power, we have love, and we have a sound mind. That being said, that's how we're rolling. I'm down to the last 3 minutes of this session. I am so appreciative for the presence. Rebel, thank you for being here. And for others that will watch this after this is done, I will download this and I will get it uploaded into Patreon for your on-demand viewing as soon as possible. But I want to stop, and as I get ready to sign off, and we'll always give a matter of minutes to offer anyone that wants to ask questions, comment, or whatever. And that's the other beauty of Discord. You can take yourself off mute and you can talk, or you can text me, as Rebel is doing right now. You're free to text and carry on communication and conversation with me. But I do want to hear from you. I don't want it to be all the spiritual thought leader talking and or even our guests talking. This is designed for an exchange, and it'll be a lot more exchange as we move forward than what you're getting today. Allow this to be an intro to Solutions Lunch and Learn. That's what we're doing here. We're developing our deeper consciousness, and we understand that money talks. And at the end of the day, it's BBFB, built Black for Black. That's what we're about. And that being said, I'm going to get ready to sign out because I'm in my 2-minute window. I want to say to Rebel, if there's anything that you want to say or anything that you want to share, feel free to either text it in the chat or take yourself off mute. I hope this has been a good overview of the direction that we're going with Solutions Lunch and Learn. And I want to just kind of digress and give you an opportunity. Awesome. You don't have anything, but you want a built Black for Black shirt. We will get you a BBFB, built Black for Black. And listen, we're gonna hook it up. We're gonna put it out. And at the end of the day, this has been a wonderful day. This has been a wonderful 30-minute moment with you in Solutions for Lunch and Learn. Thank you for coming in and being a part of this. And for those of you that will watch this on demand, feel free to reach out to me You can reach out to me at solutions at thespiritualthoughtleader.com. Again, reach out to me at solutions at thespiritualthoughtleader.com. I want you to spread the word. I want you to get others enlisted and enjoined to the movement, because at the end of the day, we're going to do this. And I'm going to say it one last time as we close out. This pride, this PRIDE, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. Thank you once more and again for coming in to our very first Solutions Lunch and Learn. I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, saying to you, listen, at the end of the day, what we're doing now is going into a deeper consciousness, because we understand that money talks. We're rebuilding our community. We're designing an idea for reparations. And at the end of it all, please understand, we're going to make a difference, because what we're building, it's built black for black. Thank you for joining me today. Nothing but mad love to you. Peace for your journey.